Lucifer, also known as Luzbel, is a figure that appears in various religious and mythological traditions. In Judeo-Christian tradition, he is associated with the fallen angel who rebels against God and is cast out of heaven. However, it's important to note that interpretations and representations of Lucifer vary across different cultures and beliefs. In the Masonic context, the figure of Lucifer is used symbolically and should not be confused with the traditional theological interpretation. Masons often employ symbols and allegories to convey philosophical and moral teachings. Lucifer is presented as a symbol of the pursuit of knowledge, enlightenment, and individual freedom. It's essential to highlight that the symbolic interpretation of Lucifer in Freemasonry is not related to the theological concept of the devil or evil. Freemasonry promotes respect for all religious beliefs and encourages the pursuit of truth and personal growth. If you are a seeker of knowledge, we invite you to join our community and become a part of it. Together, we can explore the mysteries of the world and acquire diverse knowledge that aids in our growth and development. Welcome to The Apprentice Channel. Let's continue. The word Lucifer originates from Latin and is derived from two Latin words, lux, meaning light, and fere, meaning to carry or to bear. Therefore, literally, Lucifer translates as the one who carries the light or bearer of light. In ancient Roman mythology, Lucifer was also the name given to the morning star, that is, the planet Venus. The morning star, Venus, was considered the bearer of light before the sunrise. In the Judeo-Christian religious context, the term Lucifer is associated with the figure of the fallen angel or the devil. This association is based on an interpretation of the biblical passage from the book of Isaiah, Isaiah 14:12, where there's a metaphorical reference to the king of Babylon as morning star, son of the dawn, or Lucifer. However, it's important to note that this specific interpretation and connection with the devil are not found in all religious traditions or theological interpretations. Isaiah 14:12 in the Bible, King James Version. How art thou fallen from heaven, O Lucifer, son of the morning? How art thou cut down to the ground, which didst weaken the nations? Chapter 14 of Isaiah focuses on the prophecy of the fall of the king of Babylon and divine judgment upon him. While symbolic and poetic language is used, the main message concerns pride and the fate of those who exalt themselves against God. The king of Babylon mentioned in Isaiah 14 is a real historical figure. At that time, the king of Babylon was Nebuchadnezzar II, who ruled from approximately 605 BC to 562 BC. During his reign, Babylon became a powerful empire and conquered several peoples, including the Kingdom of Judah and its capital, Jerusalem. However, in the context of the book of Isaiah, the king of Babylon is also used as a symbolic figure to convey a broader message. Prophet Isaiah employs the king of Babylon as an example of pride, arrogance, and oppression, predicting his downfall and divine judgment. It's important to note that in many prophetic passages of the Bible, real historical figures are used as symbolic representations of certain broader aspects or principles. These historical figures are used to illustrate deeper spiritual and moral lessons. In the case of Isaiah chapter 14, the king of Babylon is used as a symbolic figure for the downfall of those who exalt themselves and oppose God. While the passage has its origins in a specific historical context, it also holds transcendent significance and can be applied to more general situations and principles. Albert Pike, a prominent Mason and writer of the 19th century, addressed the figure of Lucifer in his work, Morals and Dogma of the Ancient and Accepted Scottish Rite of Freemasonry. In this book, Pike uses a symbolic and allegorical approach to explore various concepts, including the figure of Lucifer. In Pike's context, Lucifer is considered a symbol of the pursuit of light and knowledge. He doesn't refer to the theological Lucifer as the fallen angel or the devil, but uses the name as a metaphor to represent enlightenment and the transformative power of human intellect. Pike sees Lucifer as a liberating force that challenges ignorance and dogmatism, inviting individuals to seek truth and wisdom for themselves. From his Masonic perspective, the pursuit of knowledge and personal development is essential for spiritual and moral growth. It's important to note that Pike's interpretations of Lucifer are specific to his context and perspective within Freemasonry. Not all Masonic currents necessarily share this interpretation, and opinions may vary among Masons and different lodges. As always, it's recommended to directly read the works of Albert Pike, such as Morals and Dogma, to gain a more accurate and comprehensive understanding of his view on Lucifer and other topics. Other books providing a Masonic view of Lucifer include The Lost Keys of Freemasonry by Manly P. Hall. This book explores the history and philosophy of Masonry, including the symbolic interpretation of figures like Lucifer. It provides an overview of the degrees and their meanings. Freemasonry and Its Ancient Mystic Rites by Charles W. Leadbeater. This book delves into the rituals and teachings of Masonry, including a discussion on symbols and emblematic figures like Lucifer. It offers an esoteric and hidden perspective. The Masonic view of Lucifer as a symbolic allegory for the pursuit of light and knowledge is based on various interpretations and allegories. Here are some common allegories employed to understand this view. The allegory of the bearer of light. In Masonry, Lucifer is often interpreted as a symbol of the transformative power of light. Light is associated with knowledge, wisdom, and spiritual enlightenment. In this allegory, Lucifer represents rebellion against ignorance and the constant pursuit of truth and personal growth. The allegory of the fall. Instead of interpreting the fall of Lucifer as a literal fall of an angel, some Masons consider this allegory as a symbol of humanity's fall into ignorance and the limitations of the human condition. Lucifer, in this interpretation, represents the desire to overcome those limitations and seek knowledge and personal evolution. The allegory of free thought. The Masonic view of Lucifer is sometimes associated with the concept of free thought and intellectual freedom. Lucifer is seen as a symbol of the willingness to challenge established ideas, question authority, and seek truth through reasoning and personal exploration. There are other philosophical and esoteric currents that have adopted a symbolic view of Lucifer. For example, Lucis Trust is an esoteric organization that promotes the dissemination of spiritual teachings and hidden philosophy. Within its perspective, Lucifer is considered a figure representing the energy of the mind and intellect, and the liberation of human potential through spiritual awakening. Alice Bailey, a theosophist and esoteric writer of the 20th century, presented a particular view of Lucifer in her writings. Bailey regarded Lucifer as a cosmic entity and a spiritual energy related to human evolution and spiritual awakening. According to Bailey's vision, Lucifer represents the energy of the mind and spiritual illumination. Bailey maintains that Lucifer is a force working to assist humanity in its spiritual evolution and promoting the expansion of consciousness. In Bailey's writings, it is suggested that Lucifer was a celestial being who sacrificed for the well-being of humanity by challenging established divine hierarchies and bringing the gift of free will and freedom of thought. In this sense, Bailey considers Lucifer as a catalyst for growth and spiritual development. Gnosticism. Some branches of Gnosticism, an ancient philosophical and spiritual movement, have had symbolic interpretations of Lucifer. In certain Gnostic currents, Lucifer is regarded as a figure symbolizing the divine spark within the human being, inner light, and spiritual knowledge. He represents the pursuit of liberation of the soul and rebellion against the constraints imposed by oppressive powers. The interpretation of Lucifer's fall as a confrontation against the demiurge is a concept primarily found in certain Gnostic and philosophical currents. The demiurge, in Gnosticism, is considered a creator being or a false god responsible for the material creation and the trapping of the human spirit in the physical world. From this perspective, Lucifer's fall is seen as a rebellion against the demiurge and its material creation. Lucifer is depicted as a spiritual being seeking to free humanity from the control and oppression of the demiurge, guiding people towards true gnosis or spiritual knowledge. It's important to note that this interpretation is specific to Gnosticism and is not found in broader religious and philosophical traditions. Gnosticism is a system of beliefs and teachings that developed in antiquity and presents a cosmology and worldview distinct from conventional religions. In summary, Lucifer is a figure that has been interpreted in different ways in various traditions. In Freemasonry, he is used symbolically to represent the pursuit of light and knowledge. However, it's crucial to note that these interpretations and teachings are subject to debate and are not widely accepted in mainstream religious traditions or philosophical currents. It's hoped that you perceive these alternative views as an invitation to question and awaken critical thinking. Indeed, many of these divergent interpretations offer perspectives that challenge traditional beliefs and promote personal exploration and the development of autonomy in spiritual seeking. These alternative views often emphasize individual responsibility and each person's ability to make conscious choices and forge their own path instead of solely relying on a higher being. By inviting maturity and self-assertion, they foster the idea that we are active agents in constructing our destinies and in seeking truth and meaning in our lives. Questioning the established and critical thinking are fundamental elements for personal and spiritual growth. By examining and exploring different perspectives, one can broaden their understanding and find their own path towards truth and fulfillment. It's important to remember that every individual has the freedom and responsibility to choose their beliefs and spiritual approaches according to their own discernment and personal experience. The diversity of views and teachings enriches the spiritual landscape and invites us to explore, learn, and grow on our journey of self-discovery. If you enjoyed this video, we ask for your help in sharing the light of this knowledge by subscribing to our channel, commenting on our content, liking, and sharing this video with your friends and family. Thank you again for your support, and remember, your like is our reward. A fraternal hug, and see you in the next video.